Welcome back, everyone. For this segment of On the Beat, I'm Keely Shields, and joining me in studio is CEO Patrick Wooten with Richard Schwartz and Associates. It's so good having you back in studio.
It's so good to see you.
Okay, Patrick, I've got to know. So the biggest mistakes people make when dealing with insurance companies.
Yep.
This personally makes me a little nervous because I completely blank out.
Yep.
So when we are dealing with insurance companies, why do they call so quickly after an accident?
Yeah, they're wanting to try to resolve the case immediately before your injuries have had an opportunity to actually develop and for you to determine what treatments you need to get, how much work you're going to miss. So basically all the damages haven't matured. And so they quickly jump in and go, here's $1,000, here's $1,500, and we'll pay your medical bills for the next 2 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it may be. But and at that point, your adrenaline, as we've talked about before, is flowing. You're like, I'm okay. Or, yeah, I just need to put this behind me. And so people settle. And then unfortunately, we see it all the time where, 4 weeks later, 6 weeks later, they're talking to doctors like, oh, you need surgery on your shoulder. And then the person they've settled the case. They're left hung out to dry by the insurance company at that point.
And so should people give a recorded statement to the other driver's insurance?
No. I mean, they ask all the time. If you have an attorney, it's fine. Like we'll study the case, determine, is it one where there's some questions where allowing that to happen or good? But we're going to be on the phone with you. We're going to prep you for it. We're going to talk through exactly what questions they're going to ask so that you're not blindsided. Like if they just called you randomly and started to go, how fast were you going? And let's say you just go, oh, I was going 40 and it was a 35-mile-an-hour zone. Boom. They're immediately going to be like, you're speeding. They're going to try to put fault on you for that, regardless of how the accident happened. So they're just trying to find every little, nick in the armor they can to either deny your claim or to significantly reduce what they ultimately want to pay you.
So if I get a call, basically I need to tell the insurance company, hold on, let me call Richard Schwartz and Associates and get my lawyer on the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. So what's wrong with taking the first settlement offer? Again, you can get a bad claim, correct?
Well, it works two ways. Even when you have us, you never want to take the first offer. Like best example I can give is I just recently settled one of my favorite clients' cases who I've represented before. And what we ultimately settled it for was 2.5 times what the initial offer was.
Interesting.
But the adjuster was like, hey, here it is. And I know if that client had been unrepresented, they would have taken that first offer, which was not clearly the value of the case. So it's like, why is there a sticker on cars? Because some people walk in and pay sticker price. That's something you can negotiate. So insurance companies make an offer because some people just go, oh, I'll take it.
Okay.
But they know that's not the true value of the case. And that's why you need to have a law firm that specializes in this, because we know the true value of cases.
Yes. Okay, talk to me about social media and how that can affect an injury claim.
That's right. People love social media. I mean, I know right now there's the big caricature thing.
Yeah.
My daughter sent me one yesterday, and I was like, that looks nothing like me. But, we live on social media. So people post, I just had an accident. So fortunate that I wasn't hurt. Insurance company's going to scrub your social media, turn around, take a screenshot of that. A week later, you go to the doctor. They're going to be like, no, we don't know what you did in this 1 week because you said a week ago that you were perfectly fine from this accident. So what you think is a really benign comment, the insurance company will use to ultimately create havoc on your case.
And then quickly before we wrap, when should someone stop talking to an insurance company and get help?
Yeah. I mean, it's really important, and statistics say the earlier you call a law firm, the better off you're going to be on the case. Not only on your property damage claim, which is the damage to your vehicle, but ultimately on your bodily injury claim to ensure you get the medical care you need. Because at the end of the day, getting healthy is priority number one. So it's better to hire a law firm very early in the process than to wait. Because at that point, longer you wait, insurance companies gathered information or had conversations with you and is using that to endanger your claim.
All right, Patrick, all great information right there. You can see all that information right there on your screen. We'll be right back.